Bring me in even.
Alright, basically this right here is for the future mercantile, right over there. If anything was to happen over there, you close this, and then you open this main drain. And it relieves all the pressure for over there. And then this right here is actually for all this inside this building, like from the front all the way to the back. Close that, open that, releases all of it. There is a valve up front that I'll have to show y'all, that from where it drops down up front. That way it's like an auxiliary drain. And then the dry system actually, same thing. You close this, open the main drain, and it'll relieve all the pressure, and you've got a auxiliary drain up front that you can close.
So this is if the system's going off
Yes, ma'am.
and we need to shut down.
If you have water flowing out.
So there's an event and something blows out and we got water going everywhere.
Yes, sir.
That's how you cut it
Yeah,
off.
you close off this main thing right here, and then if you don't know what's going off, you close that off, nothing happens. This right here is your main. So if anything happens right here, say somebody hits this, it falls off, water spraying everywhere, you close off either one of these two valves. And it'll close off the main coming in.
Okay, so we close off this,
Yes,
and then you open this.
Yes, ma'am. And when you close this off, it actually stops the water flowing. And then when you open that, it relieves the pressure to try to get most of the water outside instead of inside. Because if you just close this and you don't do anything else, all the water that's in the system is gonna keep filling up in there.
Oh, got it. What does this do? Is this gonna turn when I open
Yeah,
this?
whenever you turn this, it's on testing.
Yeah,
You
it's
say
not
5
like-
minutes.
Yeah, okay. Whenever you turn this, whenever this way is facing, so whenever you turn this, see it says open and close?
It's closing a valve, stopping the water from coming through here and going up into your system.
Okay,
This actually lets you know there's a little clapper in here that's straight up and down. It's the same way as this. And then whenever you close this down, that right there will be closed. So there's no more water getting by that right now. And then you would open that.
And then it's gonna relieve it out of your system, come back and drain. And then there's another drain out front that you can open to do the same thing.
okay. Got it.
And that would take the water that was being sprayed, stop that out of the heads, pull them all back this way and go outside.
Yes, so you're still gonna have some water coming out in there from the pressure, but this right here with the 2-inch main drain versus the 1/2-inch hole, it's gonna try to come out the least resistant.
Sure. Okay.
Science.
And this one, what did you say this one?
This one is the dry system, that front canopy. All it is the front canopy and this back canopy. It's actually air. There's air in the system right now.
Okay.
And then whenever the air relieves, this right here's got a clapper in there that the air's holding down. It opens and actually lets the water flow behind it. So if anybody hits anything, you hear air, shh, then you know water's about to fall up. So you come back here, you close this, you open that.
Okay. But those are just the two outside canopies.
Yes.
And what's the situation where I would use this dry one?
For what do you mean?
I mean, why would I ever need to mess with that?
You shouldn't unless something happens out front. Say somebody don't believe that.
It's one of the sensors.
Oh, okay.
But see, okay, those are all, that's why they're all concealed pits. They're actually up inside there. That plate you see, it would have to fall off first and then a little thing drops down.
There pretty much just had to be a fire.
There had to be a fire, or say if somebody didn't work that out there and you got some water in your system and something broke because it froze from being outside, then that would go off. Unless there was a fire. Like a car pulled up under there and caught fire, or pulled up under there and started smoking and then actually released the heat. Because it ain't actually the fire, it's the heat.
How hot's it gonna get?
The plates fall off at 135 and the heads will actually bust at 155.
So if a truck comes by with an exhaust pipe sticking up, a dump truck's under there sitting underneath. that
And just
thing,
sitting down there,
sitting
just
there
blowing at it, yes,
For a
sir.
while, that could get that off.
Yeah, as long as, the heads, they're released at 200 pounds, or 155.
155 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But you actually see the plate fall off first, because the plate will go at 135.
Okay.
You're like, huh, what's this plate doing on the ground?
Yeah,
Ding, ding, what the?
yeah. Yeah, as soon as the plates fall, the heads very soon fall up.
Like
Okay.
10 seconds?
It all depends on how hot it is.
Okay.
If it's sitting there at 140, it won't bust. But if it goes up to 155, 160, and it's blowing on it, it's gonna release.
Okay. Okay. good,
Alright.
I've never used it.
Yeah.
Any maintenance from the guys here on any of this stuff ever,
Yeah,
on this part?
not on this, no. You'll have an inspector come by and he'll inspect this, he'll put new green tags on,
An annual inspection?
annual inspection, and then once a year, they should trip this just to make sure all this works fine, and then they'll test all your alarms.
The inspector or the company handling maintenance, or these?
No, sir, you'll have to be licensed. And
Am I responsible for calling to get the annual inspection every year, or does your company call me and say, hey, we're sending a guy
It
out?
depends on who's doing it. If we're doing it, then we'll send a guy out here once a year.
Okay,
But if y'all have somebody else do it, it'll be them coming out. You just have to let somebody know, hey, I want you all to do my inspections. And then they'll send somebody out once a year. They'll call you and let you know when they're coming.
okay,
And they'll set up an appointment, and then they'll come over here and actually test everything.
okay.
So
Because they'll have
right
to test the alarms and everything.
now, sorry, right now, we're good for 12 months.
Yes, sir.
And so on your calendar, 1st of October, fire suppression needs inspection.
Yes, sir.
So a couple of weeks before that, just make sure we've got a company in
Make sure
place.
you got a company
You guys,
that's actually
whoever,
going out.
hey guys, we know we got an inspection we need to take care of next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
We'll be good. And at that inspection time, if they see any deficiencies, they're gonna recommend this is what needs to be,
Yes,
keep
sir.
everything good. They will not just inspect this, they'll inspect the whole place.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They'll make sure all your alarms and everything work. If they found anything, instead of having a green tag, you'll have a yellow tag.
Right.
And that means that you've got work to do, and then as soon as you do whatever they recommended, then you'll go back to having a green tag.
Gotcha. Okay. But other than that, nobody should be in here messing with it.
No, sir. No,
It's good to
this
go.
room should be off limits.
Okay.
Which is why I had her put it on test, because if you close one of these, it'll set off a timer. And then the fire department will be known. They won't come out with their fire trucks and everything, but they'll call somebody and be, hey, somebody's messing with your stuff in there, y'all working on it, or, because this right here, you can turn this off, close that off, open this up, and you can actually technically set fire to the building, and nobody would know.
Right.
Except for, I guess, the fire alarms. Because your system will be done. This right here is actually what calls the fire department.
Okay.
And after about 30 seconds of flowing is when that right there calls out.
Gotcha.
And then your compressor, it should start maybe once or twice a day, twice being the most, once being normal. It'll cut on and cut off maybe 5 minutes at the most,
Keep it
just
fresh.
to build pressure back up. Because the hot and cold, it'll make your system rise and lower on
Okay.
air.
You want the low air set on right
It should be, it should cut, it'll come on, I think, like 26 pounds and cut off at 40.
There should never just be water in here.
No,
now?
sir.
No.
I mean, you come peek your head in the door, there's water under there, we got a problem.
Yes, sir. That means your system's probably tripped.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Is this drained from the
No,
system?
sir.
That's just a
That's
whole,
constant drain for the air conditioner.
Other than water there,
right. I just wanted to,
nothing under there.
Yeah. You shouldn't have any noise or anything in any of this. These you'll actually see out there, but if this trips and it's like a false trip and there's no water everywhere, you'll have water coming out of this right here. Which is your velocity check, which means that your water is on both sides. Because it's got a little area in here that has nothing, has no water, no air. And then if you ever had anything come out of here, that means that right there's a trip. Which it'll trip at 16 pounds. So once you get to 20 pounds and your compressor ain't cut on, that means your breaker's in the trip, or there's something wrong with your compressor.
Okay.
all these panels in the back wall that are blinking and labeled?
They all go to your fire alarm.
Okay.
They're all blinking green now, is there a
Yeah.
red blink?
You'll have one
Pressure's low.
If it's red blinking, something's wrong.
red solid.
Red solid, something.
Red
Something's
solid.
wrong.
It's for your tampers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the ones actually up top that's blinking, that's actually for your alarms.
Okay.
Which if those are solid, then your alarm's gonna be going off.
Anything red, there's an issue.
Yes, sir.
Solid.
Red bad, green.
What all depends on how they got it wired up. Sometimes they'll actually flash red on how they got it wired up, and that's normal. Then when it's solid red, then you're wrong. But these right here, they actually do green. So
That's how we're ready for it.
that's how they'll do it.
Complete green.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, it all depends on the building.
Yeah, I'll clear all of you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do the bleeder thing too.
Yeah, we gotta go somewhere else.
Yes.
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 It's down. This is actually the valve that I was talking about where you gotta work them. And how the bottom was closed right now. You close the top, you open the bottom. And then you just work it back and forth until you got nothing in there.
That's bleeding the line.
So that's the one you said that we need to do every, right before it gets cold. every
Yeah.
year.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So right before it gets cold, and that's it.
Yes, ma'am. During the summertime, it really don't matter because it's hot. Right now, you've got water in this line right here. That's the reason why you got a 2-inch tube here.
It freezes, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll
Yeah.
bust, and then the water can, it'll set it off.
So you getting there?
And this is just for the back canopy?
And the
This
front.
right here
Oh,
is.
this is both.
Yeah. Well, this only thing this right here works for is for this back canopy
Yeah.
where it drops down right here and goes out here. This is just for this area here.
Okay.
So now that compressor should be kicking on.
No, sir. I didn't lose enough pressure. Like that's the reason why you got 2 valves because you're not really losing. What is that like?
So don't open both of them. Don't take the
No.
shortcut.
Let me
No.
ask you this, what happens if somebody comes back here and undoes it, then you got water? I mean,
It
Well, you got air.
what do you mean if somebody just grabs his hand
yeah,
and
if
just
somebody
pulls
was
down and
to
runs
make a
off?
foot, yeah.
Then your system is going to trip and then it's going to fill with water and then
Yeah.
the water's going to be spraying out right here.
Oh, good.
You won't
okay.
have water up front or inside, but you'll have it just spraying and you'll actually have your alarms go off, fire department will come out.
Is there a way to put something else on there so people can do that? 'Cause we got.
You can actually take these handles off and store them inside if you wanted to.
Probably the better thing to do,
A lot of people do it, some people do it, some people don't, and it all depends on what y'all want. But you can remove these and actually a lot of people put them in the head box. That way they're there and then you know where they are.
Okay, so you just alternate them until it's all out, and
Yes,
just
ma'am.
make just sending air out.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's one in the
How that's
front.
closed, I'll go ahead and close that one back, and then I'll open this one up. And it gets all the air out.
So when we're done bleeding the line, it needs to go back. Does it matter what it goes back to? Which one's open? Which
Normally
one's
we'd
closed?
leave them like this case. If anything does happen, say if your system, if it freezes, this right here will be the thing that breaks. That way, so while water's flowing, you come over here and you can just close the top one. It'll actually close it off and then you can actually repair it.
Do they stay open? Not big.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On, off. Okay.
Think about it like this, okay? You see how it's sitting like this, the valve is, the handle? That means the inside's like that. Then whenever you open it up, it's the way the water's flowing.
Okay.
And then it stops and then it opens.
Okay.
So in line is actually in line with it. That's where your hole is. That's the way I always
Open.
think. Yes, ma'am.
So it can flow through. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna set a reminder for the beginning of November
Yeah.
to bleed the line.
Unless it is like this
Unless
year and it
it's-
probably won't be until
You-
Unless
December.
it's still 85.
So we do that in November, but it stays 60 all the way through November.
Yeah, just
to
whenever,
come
just
back
make
when
sure
it
you
starts
do
getting
it.
cold and
Yeah,
do it
make sure
again.
you do it before it's cold. Before you know, you hear people putting their plants in. That's kind of when you want to work it.
Just that one time.
That-
You have to
that
continue
hard
doing that
frost.
through the winter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, no, after you do it that one time, you've got everything out because all it is the condensation from the air compressor.
From,
Because
So
you
now
shouldn't
that
have
you've
any
done that
water
now, we
in here.
shouldn't have to do it again this year.
No, nothing. Y'all won't have to do it this year. We'll take care of it this year. Everything's fine. It's just next year is when you want to keep an eye on it.
And the concern
You
is
shouldn't have
freezing
much.
in here.
How much I got? Yes, sir. Yeah, because you don't want none of this to freeze and bust, because then,
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm with you, but
You trip
this is
everything.
the only part that'll fix keep from freezing.
yes, this right here
Not
is the
gonna
only
worry
one
about
that's-
anything. It's the outside and the cold element part.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The inside, what? Any water that's in there, it's all coming back this way.
Right.
And
It
there's
all
one,
comes from there to here.
and there's one in the front and one in the back.
Yes, ma'am.
But that much water is just from condensation from the compressor.
Yes, sir. From where we worked on it, might have a little bit in there from there, but that wasn't.
But that's a normal amount.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
About two mouthfuls.
Will this freeze at 32 degrees or will this freeze at 20 degrees?
It definitely freezes 20, but it's got to stay like below freezing for
Extended period of time.
Yes, sir.
4 or 5 hours. Overnight.
maybe a couple days. It's normally what I see.
During the winter, it's a big thing though.
Yeah.
Me and him go around fixing tons of them.
Yeah. But it ain't normally where it drops down first, you know, where it gets cold and it gets warm. It's normally when it stays cold for a few
Yeah.
nights is when we start having it.
Down in the teens for a whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when everything's freezing,
Things start
busting
popping.
everywhere.
Yeah.
That's where we stay busy.
Same thing on the front.
Yes, sir.
Looks the same.
No, sir. You can't see the one in the front. It's hidden. So you don't have to worry about the handles on it. Which, if you want me to, I can remove these handles and actually put them in the head box.
This
That
is
way nobody
normal.
messes with them.
Yes, this is normal. That's how it's supposed to be.
You know, the top one's supposed to be
Yeah.
straight.
That's normal, routine, everyday operation.
Yes, sir. Just stay like that and
Keeps the water in the big part.
So what?
It keeps the water in there.
Yes, sir. It lets it actually fill up in here. That way you can let it out.
Keeps it out here.
Because if you just had a 1-inch pipe from here to there, you don't have very much you're getting in there.
Less volume. And what came out of there, you don't think was more than what was in here?
It's probably like right here.
I got you.
It wasn't much.
That's our safety picture.
Yes, sir.
It goes on with Jeff's officer.
All right.
But I would.
Okay. Right here, you just have an auxiliary drain. This right here is a low bar in your system. It drops down up there. We had to add something. They didn't want to add anything going out to the front because of that pretty green stuff y'all have out there. So right here, you just have a valve with a plug in it. And you just, this would be something we would do. You just screw a hose bib connector in it, and then you run a hose straight into there. And that just drains this right here out.
Because the low point.
Yeah, if you were ever going to work on it. So if anybody works on it and they don't know, you'll catch water out there on all those heads.
But it's up in the ceiling.
It's up in the ceiling, yes,
Okay.
sir. That's why I put an auxiliary drain. I kind of like glued it on there.
Yeah.
That way, I know where it is, but if anybody else comes out here and work on it, they wouldn't. So that'd be something good for y'all to know. If y'all have somebody other than us come out here in 5-10 years to do changes.
Somebody asked us to know where.
Like maybe if y'all adding rooms, removing rooms, it'd be good to know where that right there was. Walk back up front. Right here, and then it goes back up, and then it drops down again over yonder. So over yonder, that's just for that over there. This right here, for where it drops down, it'll drain from this room, all that big area. And it's actually located right there. It actually runs outside.
It does run outside.
Yes, sir. And it's the same thing, that valve where I took the red handles off, it is the exact
It's the
same.
same
one.
thing here, she can't get in the back. I got you.
Yes, sir. And it actually runs above there, you'll never see it. All you see is the drain sticking out front,
Okay.
which is 45 down, so.
Okay.
So how do you operate that one?
You just open it up,
Okay.
same way.
You bleed it off like one in the back.
You don't have to bleed this one, no. No, so this is
No.
actually for the wet system.
Okay.
If anything happens and y'all open it up there, you come over here and you actually get above that towel right there, and then just open it up and relieve the pressure.
So the dry system's only gonna be in the back.
Well, we've
And
got a
the
dry
front.
system on the front too.
I mean, but the condensation for the
No, it's
pump.
up front too.
Yeah, well, I've got one right over here. I'm about to
One
show
up here
you.
and
one-
But
That's-
that was just for the back. This one right here is gonna be for the front canopy.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
it's the same concept, but it's in the wall.
Okay.
So but you have to get to it, you've got to remove that tile?
Yeah, to get this one, you gotta remove that top.
Okay.
And then you just open the valve up and relieve the pressure.
Gotcha. And there's only one valve?
There's only one valve and it's for the wet system.
Okay.
It's for the system that's actually in here.
It's
Gotcha.
inside, yeah.
Because you have two wet systems, one for here and one for the future merchantile. This one's just for this. Perfect. Back.
You know how you always see on.
Okay. How we were talking about out back, the ones you work, top and bottom, you've got one right in this wall. Your top valve is going to be right here, and the bottom valve is like right down here. So you've actually got to stick your hand out there,
Go on.
yeah, and work it. But it's behind. That way it's hidden, so it's not out front where everybody can access it.
Where's the water go?
Right out there. I'll show you about it's got two
Pump
drains.
out on the sidewalk? or-
Yes, sir. So whenever you do that, it will be out there, so I would make sure nobody's standing out there when you're working your valve.
Can you
Because
clean
you'll
it
spray
up? It's gonna be nasty like what the other.
Yes, sir. It'll be muddy and black. And
This will be more than that? Bigger volume?
it should be about the same because you shouldn't have much.
Okay.
And then that front, it all pitches back to this area right here. This is the lowest spot. And then about middle of the buildway is where it starts coming back this way. And then from the middle of the building, it goes back towards your horizon. Because you gotta have it pitched at a certain spot. That way water's not just sitting in it. Go ahead.
Our regular maintenance crew should never do anything to this unless something eventful happens.
They'll have to work with this right here out.
Other
This
than this one
other
thing
than
when it
this-
gets
no,
going.
sir.
You do
Unless-
not have to be a certified fire suppression system technician to drain this.
No, sir.
Everything else you work on in here, you do.
Yes, sir. This right here, you're actually supposed to work. That way you can keep on it unless you want to hire somebody to come out here and do it.
I mean, but even I could come do it and not get in trouble.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is something we actually would like y'all to do.
Sure.
Because it'd be cheaper than calling somebody once a year to come out here and do this.
Gotcha.
Because we'll come out and we'll trip system everything, we'll get all the water out. But then if there was anything left in there, say it starts bubbling down and finally makes it down here, it'd be better if y'all did work.
All right, let's say they really lose their mind and they send me over here to do this.
Yes, sir.
And I just leave both valves open. Then what happens?
It's gonna be a trip system. You're gonna get all the air out of the system.
And then lights are gonna go to red,
Yes.
fireman's gonna come and.
And then the lady will start talking to you on the intercom saying that there's a fire. And then the fire department's gonna come, all suited up, ready to go.
But now if I leave the top one closed and the bottom one open, it's just gonna build the water below.
Yes, sir. It ain't really, it's a preference on how you wanna do it.
That's not gonna mess it up, other
No,
than
sir.
a little bit of messing it up, but leaving them both open is bad.
Yes, sir. Well, you'll notice that right off the bat.
I mean,
Because you'll hear.
how long before, if I leave the top one open, before the fire department shows up at the side?
Okay, if you open both of them, you start relieving that pressure, you've got the air coming out, in 35 seconds, you'll get water here. And 5 minutes maybe, the fire department will show up.
Okay, so it's not something I can do it and not know until tomorrow.
No, sir.
I'm gonna know I screwed it up and then.
You're gonna know right off the bat.
Within a minute.
Within 30 seconds, your alarm will
If I
start.
start hearing that gurgling water, I know that I've screwed it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
It'll sound like you're relieving pressure on your air compressor. You'll hear it, it'll be loud.
So
And then
it's
everything will
important to
start.
follow those steps the way that you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Closed, open, closed.
And then if you're ever like you're confused there, you open them both up, you'll hear it, and then you'll be like, oh God, you'll close them back.
Let's
So
close one up.
yeah,
Gotcha.
So one of them should always be closed,
yes, ma'am.
always.
Always.
Unless you like to hear fire truck.
That's actually that drain inside.
Okay.
Inside the wall, you got to work. That's the dry system, and then
Okay.
the wet system is actually on this side. That's that one above that ceiling tile. It's not bad putting a water hose up there because you get a hose bit connected, and then run your water hose out so it don't stay.